to everything being rebooted to death, there used to be a thing called spin-offs. Spin-offs used to expand the universe as opposed to retelling the same story over and over again. But no one wants to put in that work anymore. Just give Awkwafina a Lin-Manuel Miranda rap. Everyone will love that. Oh yes, anything goes. Who'd ever guess? Our little Ariel's marriage material, time for the rice and the dress and the what do you call it? The thing with the lips when they press.
Your video, take me the show. I do.
Butt lovers. Welcome back to the Ranking Things series where I share opinions you don't like. Today we're ranking spin-offs, and as usual I asked you guys over on a short and also on my Instagram where there's way less competition. If you want a better chance of being featured, you might want to follow my Instagram. Anyway, I asked you what your favorite spin-off show is. Today we're gonna go through 19, starting with Ridonculous Race. Now the premise of this spin-off is actually brilliant because Survivor and The Amazing Race are both reality competition shows that are enjoyed by the same demographic for their adventurous elements. So while Totaldrama is a Survivor parody, the Ridonculous Race is an Amazing Race parody. Prior to me doing research for this video, I have never seen a full episode of Ridonculous Race. I've only ever seen compilations of Noah x Emma to see if I buy it. And hot take, but I do. I know most people headcanon he's gay and I respect that, but when I say I buy it, I wasn't kidding. Noah can be bi. That's what I think. The episode I went with was Down and Out Back, where they were in Australia, obviously, and it was very okay. With so many teams, there wasn't a lot of time for much of anything this episode. One standout team were the Ice Dancers, which I was very surprised by, because from the little things I know about the series, I really thought I wouldn't like them, with them being the villains and whatnot, but they gave me very big Jesse and James energy. This girl also stood out to me because for the longest time, I thought she was Emma in the new Totaldrama series, which back in the day I said I wouldn't watch because I hate fresh TV, but I'm a liar. I am a filthy liar, and it is very good. Also, looking at them side by side, they don't look that alike. I wish they'd give this show another go, but with a smaller cast, because I think it would kill. I'm gonna put it at B tier. I think some of the other episodes are stronger, to be fair. But I also couldn't believe there was only 2 challenges. I haven't watched The Amazing Race in a while, but they have a lot of challenges packed in there. Like, I get the runtime of the actual Amazing Race is longer, but
figure it out.
Next up is All Grown Up, I really wanna shout it out. All grown up, I want the world to know. All grown up, I really wanna shout it out. All grown up with you. This is one of the most early 2000s shows ever, from the theme song to those transition screens. Being a spin-off of Rugrats, it keeps that slice of life feel. Like, sure, in the original series they were babies, so they were imagining a lot, but it wasn't anything that kids wouldn't do. It's very realistic. That being said, I rewatched the first episode and it was even more low-key than I remember it being, having more of an as told by Ginger Hey Arnold feel. In the very first episode of the series, Susie is scammed out of $1,000 by somebody pretending to be a talent agent. How did this pink-haired cigarette mom Karen sneak into this school to scam a 10-year-old? The rose-colored glasses are coming off for these kids just trying to figure out their way through life. It's depressing. What a downer way to start your series, dude. Not to be an Angelica defender, but she isn't as bad of a singer as everyone's making her out to be in this episode. Her attitude is absolute shit, but her singing voice isn't that bad. That whiny, ever so slightly constipated style actually works with some genres.
I'll just say it. I'll just be brave.
Angelica's characterization staying consistent to how it was in Rugrats was a really interesting choice. I wonder if I rewatched more episodes if she actually did receive just a little bit of character development. But yeah, she's just a menace all around. Although she didn't kill anybody, so I'll give her that. This show holds up alright, but I can't help but feel kind of gross and sad nostalgic as I watch it. The series talks about the passing of time and discovering yourself, and please don't remind me of the passing of time. I don't like that. On top of that, I remember crushes and romance being such a huge part of the series that I misremembered and thought they were in high school, but they're actually in late elementary school or early middle school. I'm not judging them for that. There are definitely like kiddie romances, but I will say it made me feel like garbage growing up because I have not experienced that, and I just thought there was something wrong with me because no one had a crush on me. But freaking Tommy Pickles is a little playboy over here. Solid high A tier. I won't put an S tier because, like I said, it didn't make me feel particularly happy watching it, and that's kind of important to me. Also, the principal in All Grown Up being a pro wrestler is so random. So Random! So Random is by far the most interesting spin-off premise, although the circumstances of them having to make this weren't the best. So if you didn't know, So Random is a spin-off of the Disney Channel show Sunny with a Chance. Sunny with a Chance got renewed for a third season, but since Demi Lovato was experiencing a mental health low and had to take a step away from acting, they were not able to return as the titular character of Sunny, and you can't really do Sunny with a Chance without Sunny. So they created So Random, which was the show within Sunny with a Chance.
So the spin-off is literally just a full-length version of that show.
The show essentially being SNL for kids. This show had a lot of strengths, one of which being this type of goofiness was really perfect for this upcoming generation that was just being introduced to sketch comedy via YouTube. And honestly, it was very amusing seeing the Disney Channel trying to emulate that. I also feel like this was a much more genuine approach to internet-type humor than their iCarly ripoff featuring Jake Paul. Do you remember that? It's everyday bro with that Disney Channel flow. Do you remember why he said that? He was literally starring in a Disney Channel show.
That was just iCarly, but worse.
Anyway, another strength is the cast, and YouTube channel Mr. Nostalgia did a really good job of breaking this down. I highly recommend this video. And while I won't go as thorough, I still want to touch on this. Most of the cast fully transitioned really well into this new format because Sunny with a Chance was full of comedic relief characters. However, the few actors in Sunny with a Chance that thrived with their one character, namely Mean Girl Tawny and love interest Chad Dylan Cooper, did not shine as well in this series. Especially considering the one person they were meant to play off of is no longer there. I watched the second episode that featured the bop that is Socks with Sandals. I really thought I'd look back at this and cringe, but no.
It's still so good and so funny, and I love it.
Something I wish I could forget all over again is this show has a live studio audience, and the audience interaction is so forced it hurts. I do not know why they went with this format. In this episode, they introduced Audrey as the newest cast member, except no they didn't. They acted like she was a member of the audience that they randomly pulled up to have her sketch acted out in front of everyone. And there's a side plot of Tawny beefing with her, still on stage. I think this was their way of still having the Sunny with a Chance characters being themselves and not just playing the sketch comedy roles, but it just didn't translate well and was annoying. Speaking of annoying, why were there musical guests? They were really following the SNL blueprint when they didn't have to. Their parody songs were significantly better, no joke.
Get them off the stage.
I'm sorry, Grace and Chance, but they shouldn't have given you a chance. I don't know what that dude is up to now, hopefully thriving. It's just that performance was not it. Probably because he was like 10? He looks like a baby!
Didn't stop me from booing.
A highlight of this show for me before wrapping this section up is I loved seeing Shane and Damien. I'm a big Smosh fan, so to see Shane Top and Damien Haas as, Shane Zabo and Damien Johnsonson was a real treat. I was not expecting the show to be as good as it was. It got some genuine laughs out of me, and I was more nostalgic for this show than I thought. It's a B. I decided to watch Peacemaker, the continuation of DC's successful Suicide Squad, following the most problematic character, which just so happens to be played by a WWE wrestler. One critique I have is I thought it was a really weird choice to have the main character be completely invisible throughout the entire show. No, we did see him. We saw his bare ass. Did I really see John Cena's ass, or was that a body double? Please someone tell me.
The butt lovers have to know.
The opening credits was so wholly musical Batman-esque and ended with a fucking bald eagle flying in. God, I'm hooked. I'm already so hooked. Damn it. I'm mad. I don't want to watch another anti-hero show. It's exhausting rooting for the anti-hero. Or however that Taylor Swift song goes. I'm not a Swiftie. I'm already so behind on The Boys and have no intention of getting back into it. I will lose steam halfway through, but for now, I really like it. I also didn't think I'd find the bald eagle cute, but Eagly, that's his name, Eagly, is adorable.
Show us if a guy's pet eagle much?
Also, how did they make me empathize with this asshole only a few minutes in by making his dad just... Words cannot describe how evil that man is. It was difficult to watch. S tier? So many engaging characters, and like I said earlier, the humor is top-notch. Pretty tongue-in-cheek and gory, but that's just classic DC, and I'm glad they're having a renaissance of sorts, other than the flop that is Black Adam.
This town ain't big enough for 2 WWE stars as DC superheroes.
A highly requested show was, of course, Steven Universe Future, and obviously I've watched the whole series. I'm sure most of you know that. Steven Universe Future takes place a few years after the series, and a little bit after the movie. I have very mixed feelings feelings on Future because I think the movie was just a less messy ending to the series, but we'll get more into that later. I was recommended a handful of episodes, but decided to go with Bismuth Casual because it's one of my favorites. First of all, I love seeing Bismuth happy and navigating her crush in a healthy way, and all the while giving Steven good advice in the process. We don't get a lot of Bismuth episodes, and I really love that character, so I'm really glad that she at least had a little bit of a moment to shine in Future. That plus one of the best fusions, Stevani making an appearance. Come on now. It just reminded me that the first half of Steven Universe Future was right up my alley. Ugh, I just love these catch-up episodes where we dip our toes into Steven's insecurity and trauma without him, you know, killing somebody. Yeah, my main issue with Future was the very rushed and very drastic ending. Now, I understand why it was rushed. I even understand why they wanted to make him shatter a gem for the very on-the-nose breaking point high-level stakes, but I think the car crash was large enough. Having him kill someone way after the war was over felt like a slap in the face, heartbreaking, and way too big of a tone shift. The first half of Steven Universe Future with songs like I'm Looking Forward and Stick by Stick is a solid A tier from me, but knowing how this series ends, it's B. It is B at most. Adventure Time Distant Lands. Now, I already watched Obsidian, so for this ranking, I wanted to give Together Again a try, and oh my god, chills, goosebumps, everything. If you can make an episode all about death and I'm not in the corner rocking back and forth and crying and hyperventilating, then you've truly done something special. And this end to the series is something special. I don't even have much more to say because it was just a great watch and I highly recommend. S tier. High S tier. Obvious Midnight Gospel vibes for obvious reasons, those reasons being same creator, and both episodes involving death have been stunningly surreal and real all at the same time. Cory in the House. Dude, this is my favorite anime. This is the first spin-off series to That's So Raven, where Raven's brother Cory is living in the White House for some reason, and it's nowhere to be found on Disney+. I wonder if that has to do with the allegations? Yeah, allegedly he's Disney Channel's Drake Bell. I'm sorry if you found out this way.
Oh, wow. I need a minute to think about this.
I forgot how half-assed the scenery is of this show. This is supposed to be the White House? Also, if that's the president, where are the armed security guards?
I want historical accuracy in the worst way possible.
I'm gonna give this a C for Cory. I don't know, I feel weird ranking the show lower than a B, because I was definitely chuckling and I'm very nostalgic for it. I watched it all the time growing up, and yet it's still very forgettable. I finally watched Milo Murphy's Law. This is a spin-off of Phineas and Ferb as it takes place in the same universe and features Doofenshmirtz. Now listen, I do make the rules, and if Legend of Korra counts, this counts. And I'm counting them both, okay? I started with the first episode. Now everyone always talks about how underrated this series is, but the moment I saw the Disney XD logo, everything made sense. These networks that have side channels always set up shows to not do as well. It's so annoying. Anyway, despite having this show recommended to me many a time, I actually went into it knowing nothing about it, so imagine my shock when I heard the Weird Al theme song, followed by the realization that the titular bitchular Milo is also voiced by Weird Al. Iconic. Already iconic. Milo is this accident-prone guy ready for everything, and his friends always get caught up in the adventures. It's incredibly fun and charming, and it took me so much restraint to not continue binge-watching the series. S tier between Adventure Time and Peacemaker. I wish I could have continued watching Milo Murphy's Law instead of Sam and Cat. Sam and Cat is a joint spin-off of both iCarly and Victorious, with the classic trope of unlikely duo. Back when the series was coming out, I watched a handful of episodes and I was so underwhelmed and unimpressed, and also very unconvinced that these two would actually be friends. Weirdly enough though, I've never actually seen the pilot, which is what would establish them as friends. Let's see why these two are together and see if it convinces me of this strange concept. One of my first bullet points reads, did we ever find out how many subscribers the iCarly web show has? How does everyone know Sam? Are they Mr. Beast level?
Sam from iCarly!
Also, if people did recognize her from an online show that was presumably on hiatus because she's not with Carly anymore, this would be very unrealistic fan interaction. People would be pushy and terrible to her.
Why aren't you with Carly anymore? Are you and Carly still friends? When will the show be back on? You ruined everything! Follow Carly to England and continue the show!
People don't see online creators as people. Also, it irks me that they didn't address that they've met before. Did the iconic Leave It All to Shine duet mean nothing to you? Blasphemy. When I make just leave it all to me. Really, really uncomfortable disclaimer, but the CPR scene where Sam and Kat are sit bouncing on this dude's chest is beyond creepy. I feel like someone in the comments will say I'm the one making it weird, but come the fuck on, dude. And with what we know about Dan Schneider, be real and honest with yourself for 1 second. So Sam and Kat accidentally start a babysitting service. And this woman paid Sam and Kat $150 to split for watching her 3 kids. Sam said, "What?" As if this is a good payment. So for Sam and Kat to split, that's $75 each, if Sam didn't take most of it as she did. They were watching these kids from when it was light out to when it was dark out. So let's assume it's an 8-hour shift. That means they would have gotten paid $9 an hour, which is not good. Okay, maybe it's only a 5-hour shift. That's still only $15 an hour, which is lower than California's minimum wage. Definitely not as generous as Sam was making it out to be. As an internet celebrity, how does she not know this? How much did she make on the iCarly web show? I headcanon that Carly pocketed it all and then ran away with her military dad to escape Sam before she kicked her ass. Anyway, solid F tier, and I won't even apologize for it. I'm still not sold on their friendship. I don't know why Sam is being so nice to Kat. Sam from iCarly would have laughed so hard if she saw a girl being launched into a dumpster. The only explanation that I could think of that could make sense is if Sam had a crush on Kat, but that would be weird as fuck because Kat acts like she's 9 years old. Bad premise for a show. Sam would have rode off on her motorcycle, no hesitation. Why are they writing her like this? Then I watched Tangled the series, and I decided to go for the second episode. I hear the episode Queen for the Day goes the hardest with songs, but without the build-up, I think I'll be very confused. The way Finn says Cassandra is very funny, but who the hell is she? Let me act out what I did. Let me just go on Wiki, and holy shit, she's Gothel's biological daughter. She was abandoned at age 4 when Gothel kidnapped the newborn Princess Rapunzel. Yo, what? This is some soap opera type shit. Emphasis on opera because these bitches sing a lot. This show already has a lot going for it. Rapunzel is just as likable as she is in the OG movie. This storybook-like art style is really growing on me. I just don't know why they decided to make her hair long and blonde again. Is it because it's more easily recognizable and brandable? Is it because with her short brunette hair she'd look too much like Cassandra? Did it really grow back that quickly? I thought she only had the long hair because of the magic, and then when it was cut off she didn't have the magic anymore. I don't know why, it irks me. My sister was trying to get me into the series for so long, but I was just so pissy about the hair. Very silly. Like I said, I don't know why I care that much. Also, I have to say it, I'm sorry, the kingdom being called Corona aged really badly, obviously. Look at these wiki comments. Look at these dates. What a historical time. This is one of those episodes where a character really hates one of the main characters for no reason, and it's just hijinks ensues. God, the whole not everyone has to like everyone message is infuriating. I hate it. Everyone does have to like me. It's the law. The guy that's beefing with Rapunzel is so fucking annoying. He says he hates green, but his entire shop looks like this.
Fuck you.
So Rapunzel disguises herself to attempt to befriend this man, and also agrees to enter the Gopher Day competition with him while in this disguise. Here's my question. Why is no one suspicious that Princess Rapunzel isn't at this celebration? Even Eugene/Finn, her own boyfriend, didn't say anything like, "Hey, where's Rapunzel?" It seems like a huge oversight. I'm still gonna rank it A tier because even with this very frustrating episode, the world building and exciting new characters is undeniable. And I really want to watch that Queen for a Day episode. Maybe one day I'll rank your favorite super musical episodes. Confession time, I have never heard of Darkwing Duck until now. I don't know how. It came out in 1991 and is thought to be a spin-off of DuckTales. The creator Tad Stones apparently claims it takes place in a different universe, but I don't think this disproves that it's a spin-off. I just think it's a spin-off that apparently takes place in a different universe. First impressions, and I'm sorry to say, but his voice in the theme song is,
It's kinda,
Let's get dangerous.
Oh no, he's hot!
Keeping it short, sweet, and to the point, that plant scientist villain was amazing. His descent to incel madness was wild to watch. Low A tier, its 90s feel is very endearing to me, but my attention span is short and I have to be very in the mood for this old school feel. The Glee Project. The very premise of this show makes me
cackle.
a whole ass reality show for who will be on Glee. It's just such a ridiculous product of its time. What other show made their audition process process so public with storylines and romance drama and everything. The group number being I Wanna Sex You Up is so awkward and weird and cringy and so perfectly Glee.
And that's not even the worst number of this episode.
Fun fact, I watched the show when it came out despite me not watching Glee at the time. Why did I enjoy it? Easy question. When the eliminated contestants sang Keep Holding On, it made my musical theater heart sing. It was so deliciously sad. Even the backup singers would cry and it was ridiculous. There's nothing you can say, there's nothing you can do, there's no other way. Excuse me, can you stop? This is kind of my moment. The amount of times they've said, the concept for this music video is a high school sex ed class that turns into a boys versus girls sexy off is way too many. One time would have been too many, but they actually said that more than once. Jail. Electric chair. It was also wild to see Lily Mae Harrington get the villain edit because I met her in real life at a shorts event where we were making videos for Single Drunk Female. I'll link it above. She's so nice. Now for the unfortunate news I have to break to you. They did a mashup of My Milkshake Brings All the Boys to the Yard with Maroon 5's Moves Like Jagger. Ew. Rancid. I've never felt less sexual in my life. D for dick. Haha. Sexuality episode, baby. Also, this is a high honor D tier placement because it's such hot garbage in the best way possible. I'm still obsessed. I'm so entertained, but it doesn't make it any less bad. Totaldramarama. Before I watched the show, I thought the premise was really out of place and it was probably the worst idea for a spin-off of Total Drama, but now that I've watched it, I think the premise is really out of place and it's probably the worst idea for a spin-off of Total Drama. Sorry. Here's why. You have a show about teens competing and being romantical and having moral dilemmas, and people enjoy it. Do you really think those people want to see those teens as babies before the world seriously fucked them up? It's just sad. I don't want to feel bad for them more than I already do. I just want to see them fight. Also, you, dear viewer, suggesting me Aquarium from a Dream where the kids keep accidentally killing these goldfish after my goldfish just died is pretty brutal, and I'm gonna assume you didn't know. F for Fish Fatality. I love that you guys recommended me Equestria Girls. Equestria Girls is very controversial amongst the My Little Pony Friendship is Magic fans, aka bronies, but I love it. I went to see the first movie when it came out in theaters when I was 16 with my sister. It was so good. This time I watched Forgotten Friendship, and the music, as always, is so fucking good. If you give me good music, I can excuse a shitty plot. And honestly, I don't even think the plot is bad. A bit generic with all of Sunset's friends forgetting that she had a redemption arc. Their memories are erased. What are we gonna do? She's gonna go back to the Ponyville version of this world is what she's gonna do. The dynamic of Sunset, Princess Twilight, Celestia, and Luna? God tier. I have to point out that when they were in the forbidden section of the library, Twilight was really excited reading about Canterlot's cannibals. I rewinded 5 times thinking I misheard her. There are canonical cannibals in My Little Pony, and enough to fill 31 volumes at that. Twilight would be into true crime. Also, Sunset Shimmer's voice actor had a Lois Griffin moment where she just screamed her head off, and it was way more dramatic than it needed to be. I made a dramatic audio out of it, if you want to see.
Let her shine. No. Applejack. Prairie. Rainbow Dash. Baby pie. Twilight. Don't forget me.
Low S. Are you kidding me? That was epic. You guys gave me the Big Bang Theory spin-off of Young Sheldon. Now, I've never actually seen either of these series. I've heard some people love Big Bang Theory, but all the people I know in real life relentlessly dunk on it. I'm shocked Young Sheldon has 6 seasons already. At this rate, he's not going to be young anymore. I watched season 1, episode 4, a therapist, a comic book, and a breakfast sausage. In the beginning of the episode, the parents got an actual chuckle out of me because it's really nice to see them struggle but still trying their best. The conflict of this episode is Sheldon choked on his breakfast, had to get Heimlicked, and as a result, now he's afraid to eat solid foods. I want to show you a clip because I think the parents' comedic timing is pretty good.
This is all my fault. I rushed him through breakfast the other day, and now look, he is wasting away.
Oh, come on. You can't blame yourself. This isn't going to last. Remember the time a bee got in the house and he slept under a net for a couple months?
This is different.
How?
First of all, you let that bee, and the bee was your fault.
Okay.
Secondly,
I was intrigued about them, so I read about their dynamic through the rest of the series, and why do these things always happen? Why are men like this? The comic book style of Sheldon facing his fears was a cute touch. C tier. There are very few shows that I like with child actors in my old age. I feel like their delivery is always off. Sheldon's performance was good, but his siblings were taking me out of it. I watched pretty early on, so I don't know if it gets better, but all the jokes the kids said to me fell flat. And I just don't know why they didn't make Sheldon an only child. The humor is very safe and classic sitcom, which in some ways is charming and in other ways it doesn't stand out at all. These are just my first impressions though. Clifford Puppy Days. I loved this show, and the theme song is still so good. Are you gonna cut away to you dancing to it?
I'm kind of new, so I'll stick with you. I like new places.
I'm really gonna hurt myself one day.
What brings you into the hospital today? I broke my leg dancing to a baby show theme song for my YouTube channel. Do you at least have 100,000 subscribers? I do not. I'm close! Also, I hope I unlock a memory for some of you. I totally forgot about Speckle. In between episodes, Emily Elizabeth, our two first names queen, reads Clifford a story, and it always involves this lovely cast of characters. I loved them more than the actual episodes, no joke. Weirdly enough, this is B tier. It isn't A or S because I feel like this, as well as most spin-off shows, only stands out through the nostalgia and that's it. That and I'm also 25. Maybe it was just more fun when I was younger. Or you know what? Maybe it's because I watched this series before I had a dog. Now I have a dog, so I don't really need this series. It's not because I'm too old. It's not because I'm old. Got a lot of requests for The Legend of Korra. Now The Legend of Korra expands on the world that Avatar The Last Airbender set up. The way I was introduced to this series back when it was first airing did the show such a disservice. Because the whole initial love triangle thing made me lose interest immediately. And along with that, one of the obstacles many spin-off shows have to face is being compared to the original. And I definitely compared Legend of Korra to Avatar The Last Airbender when it was first coming out. I was looking for the comedic relief. I was looking for the Sokka. And I was disappointed when it never came, and I just became very uninterested. But then when I saw how the show ended and the major plot points along the way, I was pissed I didn't stick it out. So I decided to watch Venom of the Red Lotus to regret my decision even more. Jesus Christ, the animation in this episode, straight horror. Straight horror. One thing this episode alone does really well is with these elaborate fight scenes, they are showcasing all of the elements and how powerful each element is. One critique I have of the original series is I feel like they made Earth look like clearly the weakest element, but that's not the case here. All of the elements are equally threatening in this show, as they should be. The rebirth of the Air Kingdom is also lovely to see, and I feel like it's done in a very realistic way. Like, it isn't too much, it isn't overpowered, it isn't out of nowhere. And without spoiling too much, seeing Korra at the end was brutal. It really shows how serious this battle was, physically and mentally. She was fucking poisoned. Sorry, I said I wasn't gonna spoil it, but I guess I did. She was fucking poisoned, and she feels bad about it, like she didn't do enough. This is a solid A tier, a strong downer. I'm sad. That 90s show is of course a spin-off of that 70s show, and it's wild how do all of the actors look exactly the same. They're still doing those awkward transition scenes too. Wow. Very nostalgic. Kelso and Jackie's son is perfectly cast. I heard people on TikTok complaining that the acting is bad, but it has the exact vibe of the first show mixed with a little bit of regular show. If you don't like the bro back and forth, but you still somehow like the OG, then you just hate the new one because it's new. I actually think this was an incredibly strong pilot. However, I feel like it's only downhill from here because Eric and Donna go away and they're not really seen throughout the rest of the series, and I think it's a wasted opportunity. I'm gonna miss those characters too much. Also, watching teenagers being flirty at my age is a nightmare. Get it the fuck away from me. Low A tier. Actually, lowered to B because they showed Fez at the end. Ew. Alexa, stream 1729. And finally, I watched Mako Mermaids. I was severely misinformed about this show. I thought it was a knockoff. I didn't know it was actually related to H2O, Just Add Water. Let's go! I hope they're still Australian! In this series, we learn more about full mermaids, like mermaid-born mermaids, their society and whatnot. A very different approach. But it wouldn't be related to H2O without a human transformation. And this time, it's a merboy. Just what we wanted. Listen, it's a slowish start, but I love the shit out of H2O. And this looks really fun too. Solid A tier because it's right up my alley, but I really hope the pacing gets better. Somebody in the comments let me know if the pacing gets better. I have the attention span of a walnut thanks to TikTok. What a fun time this was. What do you want to see me rank next? Next week is Ubi Lore. Have a great day, butt lovers. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed, please subscribe. We're so close to 100K. We are so close to 100K. Bye!